Studio A, it's something really all of us do. You get dressed up for Halloween, you put on the makeup, you put on the contacts, you do this, you do that, right? Well, there are some things you should know about them, parents especially, to watch out for in the kids.
Yeah, because that makeup and everything you put on your face can actually be a lot more dangerous than you think. So here to talk to us about that is Dr. Timothy Sinek from Southwestern Eye Center. Doctor, thank you for being with us. For starters, let me ask you this. What makes this so dangerous?
Well, there's a few situations that we could come into. One of the main things that the people wear at this time for this evening will be masks, and it'll block their side vision. Also, some of these have their eyes are actually obscured by to make them look more dark, and it makes it a little more dangerous for people to cross the roads and traffic and actually curbs and maybe a tombstone they may trip over. You never know when they're crossing the lawn.
That's very true. Okay, I want to ask you about this. I see this so much here. The crazy eye makeup and the lashes and all of this kind of crazy stuff. So why is it so important for us to maybe steer clear of some of these things, and what could be so dangerous about it?
Well, the fake eyelashes in particular, first of all, applying the eyelash can be a problem because they may abrade their cornea, they may irritate themselves. But the glue itself is the main thing. The glue is the most important thing, because if they get a drop of the glue in the eye, it can be very irritating. We've actually had patients that have set the glue by the bedstand and thought it was an artificial tear and actually applied that glue in their eye thinking it was an artificial tear. And that's about a 20-minute session of trying to pull that glue off to open their eyes.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
Very irritating.
Let me ask you this, Doctor. If you are in a situation where you feel like your costume requires the makeup and it's really not going to be the same unless you do it, I mean, what are some tips, some tricks that maybe you would recommend to parents and their kids to make sure everyone is having fun and staying safe?
Sure. I think the main tip is to have the parents apply the makeup, because this isn't normal makeup. This is a lot of glitter in it. It's probably not, as you can see, it's not very expensive, so it probably doesn't have the makeup base that normal makeups do. So if the parents are applying it and making sure it doesn't get into the eye, that will make things much better for the experience.
Okay, this is a big one. I feel like especially in recent years that we have to talk about, but a lot of people using those contacts, the whiteout, the blackout, cat eye, kind of all these kinds of crazy contacts, but they may be getting them from not the U.S., shipping them from overseas, and that can be really dangerous.
It can be very dangerous. First of all, they have not been fit by their optometrist, so we have no idea how they're going to fit on the eye. Second of all, they don't know, if they've never worn contact lenses before, how to even insert the lens, and if they do manage to get the lens in, wear them for 2 or 3 hours, the lens may dry onto the cornea, it may irritate the cornea that way, but then they have to remove the lens, and that's where most of the problem lies, because if they can't get them out, they'll sleep in them all night long and then come in and see us in the morning, and by that point in time their corneas are very irritated. They look pretty cool, but I would stay away from that completely.
I feel like you must have so many stories, horror stories, of people coming into the office and I have this in my eye, I got this, and for stories for days.
We see a lot of that.
You see it all. All right, Dr. Timothy Sinek from Southwestern Eye Center, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hopefully you don't have too many emergency visits this Halloween. Real quick, we'll give you a final weather